You're now watching Colorado State University's student-run campus television, Channel 25, weeknights from 8 to midnight.
For Thursday, April 8th, 2004, you're watching Campus Television News.
The President and Vice President for ASCSU for the 2004-2005 school year with a grand total of 2,479 votes. Can everybody give a nice round of applause to Katie Clausen?
An overwhelming night of emotion for Katie Clausen and Ben Goldstein, the newly elected 2004-2005 ASCSU President and Vice President. As first reported by CTV News last night, the student body chose the university's top student executives in a decisive vote. Welcome to CTV News. I'm Josh Farmer.
And I'm Megan Kemp. Thanks for joining us tonight. Clausen and Goldstein polled in over half of the votes, and CTV reporter Dominic Garcia joins us live from the chambers, where all of the last night's excitement took place. Dominic?
That's right, Megan. It was definitely an exciting night here last night. This place was packed as members from ASCSU, along with the candidates, eagerly awaited the results of the election. And as you probably know, current Vice President Katie Clausen won the seat for president, along with her running mate Ben Goldstein, who will now become the new vice president. The two won with a total of 2,479 votes. CTV got the reaction from both of them last night after the announcement was made.
How does tonight feel? Can you kind of describe just what you're feeling right now? I know you just heard a couple minutes ago that you're the new president for ASCSU next year. Can you kind of give us some of your feelings?
I'm just feeling a huge relief. I never would have guessed that we would have been such a big margin. We were scared to death, had no idea what to anticipate, almost in tears before I even got in here. So I'm very excited that all of our hard work in this organization throughout the years, not just this last year, has paid off. So
great, and I know a lot of effort and a lot of time has gone into campaigning and coming up with your platform. When does this all start for you guys?
Tomorrow. I've got to get started on different committees and tasks and working with Jesse to make sure that we're transitioning, because I've got to transition Ben while I'm transitioning with Jesse. And it's really important that we start planning, because it takes starting now to get all of our platform issues accomplished. So we plan to stay true to that again this year. So
Dustin Zavonik and Kyle McCarthy came in second place with 1,680 votes. Brittany Burke and Kristen Shoei placed third with 472 votes, and David Hoff and Mike Bystrom came in fourth place with a total of 406 votes. Not quite as close of a race as last year, but definitely just as impressive. ASCSU has a lot to be proud of with the high voter turnout. Megan?
Thanks, Tom.
Over 5,000 students turned out to vote this year in what was a major victory for ASCSU. For the past few years, the election committee's goal had been about 20% of the student population. This year, with nearly a quarter of students voting, they had no problem at all reaching that goal. 24.2% of students voted in this year's election. That's up from last year's 17.6%.
Voter turnout this year compared to any other year was just incredible. We got 24.2% of the eligible voters to vote, which is huge. Last year it was roughly about like 16%. So I mean, that's a huge jump for 1 year.
ASCSU only needed 10% of students to vote for this election to be recognized by the Board of Agriculture.
ASCSU also voted on representatives for Senate seats. There were 10 colleges with 35 open seats. There were only 32 candidates running this year, which leaves 3 seats open to write-in candidates. And the winners are, from the College of Liberal Arts with the most available seats are Jessica Deardahl, Courtney Stevens, Justin Davis, Courtney Przybylski, Kelly Pitts, and Josh Gold. The Senate representatives for the College of Agriculture will be Brad Lindenmeyer and J.D. LeClaire. Next on the list is the College of Applied Human Sciences. Those representatives are Megan Hart, Darcy McNew, and Sean Lipsey, with 1 seat yet to be filled. The engineering department has chosen 2 people, and they are Peter McGuire and Matt Wiley. The College of Natural Sciences has 3 candidates competing for 4 seats. So far, only 2 of those seats have been filled, and the remaining 2 will be determined by write-in candidates. The 2 winners are Sarah Ryan and Greg Weckenbrock.
The graduate school has 6 seats that have to be filled, and the 2004-2005 Senate representatives for next year are Jessica Jones, Paul Giberson, Tina Van Rixord, Tony Furtado, Allison Huff, and Brian Depew. The College of Natural Resources had 2 seats. The second seat had to go to a write-in, and the new senators will be Jared Kay and Brett Gulick. The College of Business chose Crystal Plant, Wayne Lewis, and Robert Steele as its newest representatives. Inter-university studies only had one person run with one write-in and 2 seats that are still up for grabs. The winners so far are Wesley Wright and Andrew Anderson. And last but not least, the College of Veterinary Medicine had 2 available seats with 6 opponents running. The winners are Megan Royer and Robert Sons.
I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to do as well as I did because I didn't really campaign much, but I did fairly well, so I was pretty happy with that.
I feel pretty good. I'm just really excited to actually make a difference, get in there and do what the students need.
Congratulations to all the winners and best of luck in the coming year.
National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice is saying that a presidential memo titled "Bin Laden Determined to Attack Inside the United States" was received by President Bush 1 month before the 9/11 attacks, but that was not a warning for a possible terrorist threat. Rice testified before the 9/11 Commission for 3 hours earlier today.
It did not warn of attacks inside the United States. It was historical information based on old reporting. There was no new threat information, and it did not, in fact, warn of any coming attacks inside the United States.
Rice also defended Bush when asked questions about the administration's sudden attack against terrorism and stated that there was no silver bullet that could have prevented 9/11. The race for the White House has come down to 2 men, but Ohio Congressman Dennis Kucinich says he's not about to quit on his message.
That's right. Kucinich said that he made a visit to the CSU campus earlier this afternoon and met with to discuss his vision for the future of America and the Democratic Party. You're watching CTV News. Stay tuned.
From Colorado State University, Megan Kemp, Josh Farmer, Chris Dittmer, and Sam Anderson. You're watching Campus Television News.
Hello, I'm Dexter Yarbrough, Chief of Police of the Colorado State University Police Department. The CSUPD is a full-service law enforcement agency devoted to the welfare of the university community. We work hand-in-hand with our students, faculty, and staff to promote the educational and occupational experiences of all. For further information, feel free to contact us at 491-6425. And also, we're located here on campus in Green Hall. Thank you.
Agent Classifieds, how may I help you?
Place it, find it, buy it, sell it, rent it. All this and more with the Rocky Mountain Collegian Classifieds, as low as $4.50 a day. Call 491-1686, 491-1686.
Presidential hopeful Dennis Kucinich brought his campaign to northern Colorado today. Kucinich made appearances in Longmont, Greeley, and right here in Fort Collins. Appearing before a crowd of about 150 people south of the Shepherdson building, Kucinich said he knows Senator John Kerry has won the party's nomination, but that's no reason for him to quit on his message.
I want to make sure that Democrats have a platform that's strong enough that no matter who is the candidate for president or vice president, that we can win. And the only way we can do that is through this process. I mean, imagine if everyone had quit except for Senator Kerry. Then people wouldn't even have these discussions. No one would even care.
Congressman Kucinich commented also on what he believes is the most important question of the 2004 presidential campaign.
How are we going to bring our troops home? That's the question. We have brave young men and women whose lives are on the line right now, and they're counting on us to bring them home. How are we going to bring our troops home?
After leaving the CSU campus, the congressman spoke from the Fort Collins Public Library. He then traveled to a rally in Longmont, but plans to speak from the Starlight later this evening.
On Wednesday, fire crews fully contained the Picnic Rock fire. Cooler weather and precipitation helped contain the blaze. The fire consumed a total of 8,900 acres and burned down one home, while forcing 140 residents of Bonner Peak and Cherokee Hills to evacuate. 55 firefighters will stay in the area to extinguish any remaining hotspots. The total cost of Colorado's first major wildfire is estimated to be around $3 million.
And now that the Picnic Rock fire is contained, other issues concerning the blaze have arisen. Hillsides surrounding the Seaman Reservoir, which provides water to Greeley, have been charred, and soot from those hills could cause containment in the water. The water poses no health threat but could affect its flavor. City officials will continue to test the water in the coming weeks. And while all the rain has been good for the fire, the weather hasn't been the best for students traveling between classes. Today was a little bit cooler with cloudy skies and scattered showers throughout the day. Today's high was 61 degrees tonight, and tomorrow's night you can expect thunderstorms and a high of 43. Well, I hear that Chris Dittmer went cowboy this weekend.
Yes, he did. That's right. We sent him to the rodeo, and he's got some great video that you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
Slide on your boots and put on your hat. It's time for the 53rd annual CSU Skyline Stampede Rodeo. I'm Chris Dittmer, and coming up next on CTV Sports, I'm going to take it to the ultimate man versus beast.
And it makes a fiery ring.
It's the place for taking care of business and the place to buy and sell textbooks. It's the place for staying connected, student organizations, leadership programs, and more, all right here. It's the place to eat. It's the place for entertainment. There's always something happening at the LSC. Movies, art exhibits, and special performances. Check it out online.
The Lowry Student Center is definitely the place to be.
Watching Emmy Award-winning campus television, winner of the 2003 Heartland Regional Emmy Award for Outstanding Student Achievement. And now, CTV Sports with Chris Dittmer.
The Colorado State softball team isn't used to having high expectations recently, but after a very successful year this past season, things are a bit different. This year, the Rams haven't disappointed. After 9 games in Orlando, Florida, and 2 cancellations thanks to rain, it was time for the Rams to come home and face the University of Northern Colorado Bears. The Rams were looking to add to their 6-game winning streak and did just that. UNC had only won 4 games coming into the doubleheader on Tuesday afternoon. Game 1 was tied at 2 in the 5th, but a 5-run 6th inning propelled the Rams to victory, and in Game 2, the Bears had a chance to notch the win with runners in scoring position, but couldn't get it done, losing 2-1 with Jessica Strickland getting the save for CSU. In Game 1, the Rams get the easy victory thanks to some power behind the plate. Brittany Huerta went 3 for 3 and drove in 3 runs in the 8-2 win. Megan Master came back from injury, pitched 6 innings and struck out 6. After that, it was on to Game 2. This one was a bit closer with State getting the win in the end. Genevieve Kelly started and pitched 4 innings, allowing only 1 hit, and also went 2 for 2 in the designated hitter spot, batting 1 run in. With the win, CSU improves to 24-9 on the year and will now face San Diego State on Friday. Tennis is also in full swing and getting deep into conference play. After wins over Wyoming and Air Force, a tough loss followed to New Mexico. The team has a chance to get back on track this weekend. It's off to sunny San Diego, California to face the Aztecs on Friday, and then a quick turnaround to take on UNLV at 10 a.m. the next day. Each match is in San Diego, so the frequent flyer mile is still good, but not as good as they could be.
The Rams were without #1 singles player Dasha Zurin in the loss to the Lobos, who sprained her ankle in warm-ups at Air Force. It remains to be seen if she'll play tomorrow. Just down I-25 sits the University of Denver and what is shaping up to be one solid hockey team. After I witnessed the Pioneers play some great games en route to winning the NCAA Regionals in Colorado Springs, it was on to Boston and the Frozen Four this morning against Minnesota Duluth. Plenty of DU fans on hand in Boston, but they had little to cheer about early. Minnesota Duluth would score here to lead 2-0 and held their lead at 3-1 going into the third period. Pioneers goalie Adam Burkhall returned to a stellar form from the NCAA Regionals, stopping at 2-0 and all 6 in the third. After that, DU would tie it up at 3, and that set the stage for senior Lucas Dora. He picks up the loose puck and slyly goes 5-hole with the game winner. Denver would add an empty netter to tally an amazing 4 unanswered goals in the final period. So after a very sluggish start, the Pioneers had some smelling salts in the locker room before the third period or something. I don't know what happened, waking up to score 4 unanswered goals. After the 5-3 victory, Denver will now face Maine, who beat Boston College 2-1. The final will be played Saturday night at 5 p.m. Mountain Time to decide the national champion. Many people here forget that this university was once the Aggies and that agriculture and cowboy life was prevalent. The tradition still continues in the form of rodeo here in Fort Collins, thanks to the CSU Club Rodeo team. Photojournalist Dave Althouse and I went out to get a good look at the Skyline Stampede Rodeo last Saturday.
Plenty of cowboys and cowgirls were on hand this past weekend at the 53rd annual Skyline Stampede Rodeo. The CSU Club Rodeo team puts on the oldest collegiate rodeo in the nation in the Skyline Stampede. The team consists of over 20 participants who compete in 8 events, ranging from barrel racing to team roping.
CSU's rodeo club consists of about 30 active members, and we go travel and compete at about 10 rodeos a year.
It's never easy to attempt to ride an ornery horse with or without a saddle, but an abundance of competitors did just that. Riding a 1-ton bull is arguably one of the toughest jobs in sports, but hey, for the CSU Club Rodeo team, it's just another Saturday afternoon.
Different from everything else.
Injuries are very prevalent in rodeo, and this bull rider was one of the walking wounded after losing a fight with a not-so-happy bull.
Those go crazy.
I got a buddy who's got half pancreas out. He had a big old blood blister on his liver, broken foot, everything.
On the other end, CSU's Andrew Berkeley gave it his best, but couldn't quite stay on for 8 seconds.
It's a great sport coming to rodeo, and I think it's good that people see that that agriculture and there's still cowboys around.
In the end, everyone that came out enjoyed a sport which started when the West was settled, and the rodeo will ride on next year in the annual CSU Skyline Stampede.
Rodeo is definitely an exciting sport, and I don't think there's anyone tougher than bull riders out there.
You've got no argument here, Chris. Thanks.
Thank you.
And if you've ever had a teacher that you wanted to throw something at, you should stick around because Sam's going to tell us how some students are getting the opportunity to do just that. Stay tuned.
Call the Center for Drug and Alcohol Prevention and the Center for Health Promotion and quit gambling with your life.
Campus service officers are the eyes and ears of the CSU Police Department. They provide safe walks to all students and are available 7 days a week. To request a safe walk, pick up an emergency phone on campus, call the Safe Walk line, or simply ask a CSO on duty. CSOs patrol and provide walks from Constitution to Matthews Street and Prospect to Mulberry Street. To be safely escorted to your destination, call 491-1155. with Sam Anderson.
Fed up with your speech professors? Why not throw a pie? Well, at least that's what students were doing yesterday in the plaza. Students lined up to throw whipped cream pies at their favorite or not so favorite speech professor for a fundraiser within the department. Pies cost anywhere from $2 to $5 depending on how close you stood from the target. And although it was raining, students did not miss a chance to get sweet revenge on their professor.
Throwing some pies, raising money for Lambda Pi Eta, the honorary Society for Speech Communication Department. And it'll either go towards technology in the department or for undergrads and graduate students who want to go to speech conferences.
His stark, crisp images have been displayed at the Kerfman Gallery for a month, and now it's time to meet the man behind the lens. J. John Priola will speak tomorrow night in the LSC Senate chambers at 5:30 p.m. It is free and open to the public. For more information, you can call 491-2810. Hellboy, the popular comic book character, stormed movie theaters last weekend, bringing in $23.2 million in ticket sales. Hellboy tells the story of a deformed man who was created in the final days of World War II when Nazis tried to use black magic to aid their dying. The Allies raid their camp where the ceremony is being held, but not before the demon Hellboy has been created. Hellboy joins the Allied forces and grows to adulthood where he fights for good instead of evil. When the Nazi demons return to destroy the world, it is up to Hellboy and his secret society of fellow deformed creatures to save the world. Hellboy is rated PG-13.
Hellboy is the coolest dude who ever came down the pipe. And
Yeah, he's scary.
I like to think that an awful lot of people, when they see this movie, are going to wish they played Hellboy. And I am, very cognizant of the fact that, I'm the one who's been privileged enough to walk in his shoes.
Your alley, then be sure to check out one of the other movies opening this weekend. New movies include The Alamo, rated PG-13, The Girl Next Door, rated R, The Whole 10 Yards, rated PG-13, and for the younger crowd, Ella Enchanted, rated PG. Hip-hop, jazz, and funk will fill the Aggie Theater this weekend. Your concert calendar for the weekend begins tomorrow night. Idea with Abilities, Blueprint, and Black Pegasus will begin at 9 p.m. Tickets are $13 and open to all ages. Then Saturday night, check out local band Wasabi at 9 p.m. Tickets are free if you are 21 and $5 if you are under. Remember, doors open at 8 and for all performances. And CSU Idol's in its second to last week with only 6 performers left in the competition. Make sure you come to the Ramskeller tomorrow night at 7 p.m. to watch and vote on your favorite idol. I went last week to see the CSU Idol, and so many talented singers. No, there really is, and it's going to be interesting to see who the bottom 3 will be tomorrow night. Definitely. I'll see you there. Great. Okay, we'll be right back.
11,000 bike trips a day. Bicycle safety is important on the CSU campus. CSU Bike Patrol officers work to maintain safety and regulate bicycle traffic. They need your help. Obey all posted signs. Make sure you have a light on your bike at night. Walk your bike in dismount zones. Yield to pedestrians at all times. By doing these things, you will be maintaining bicycle safety at CSU. For more information, call 491-6425.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ramblers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. Welcome to the Ramblers. I am Travis Huntington.
I'm Tyler Kraus. I'm Chris Dittmer. A great game this weekend.
Another huge game for the Rams.
Don't forget to tune in to the Ramblers every Tuesday night from 6 to 8 right here on 90.5 KCSU.
One radio, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 0 commercials. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
90.5 KCSU.
90.5.
This is your student-run radio.
It is your student-run radio station.
On your FM dial. Run by students, for students. It's 90.5 KCSU.
Meanwhile, this weekend, many children will be decorating eggs, and the Easter Bunny will be making his 21st annual visit to my house.
Nice. But you don't have to wait until Sunday to get in the Easter spirit. Here in Fort Collins, the fun begins tomorrow. Beginning at 10 tomorrow morning, the Easter Bunny will be making a visit at the Foothills Fashion Mall and Josh's house. You can also go view the fantastic egg at the Discovery Science Center beginning at 10:30. In addition to that, there will be a Way of the Crosswalk beginning at the Holy Catholic Church at noon. And if you just have to have that picture with the Easter Bunny, that photo opportunity begins at 11 a.m. Saturday morning at the outlets at Loveland. There will also be an Easter egg hunt at City Park at noon tomorrow and a special hunt for children with disabilities on the CSU Oval at noon on Saturday. Well, that's all we have for tonight.
Be sure to tune into CTV every night from 8 to midnight for all your latest news, sports, and entertainment. Good night.
Good night.
For news, sports, and entertainment, you're watching Campus Television, Channel 25, weeknights from 8 to midnight.